Hey crypto YouTubers, this is coinpicker.us and we're going to talk about the story that nobody seems to be covering and is directly impacting the market right now. Has to do with Binance. Then we're going to talk about where we're at with Bitcoin dollar, Litecoin dollar, and a lot of the altcoins, and what the trend is coming up and whether or not things are right on cue for what I've expected. So stay tuned. The huge news that is not plastered all over the crypto market, to my surprise, is that Japan apparently has suspended Binance, which is the largest cryptocurrency exchange by a wide margin. It's doing something like 1.8 billion a day, even in low volume markets. So it is the major gorilla, and anything, even bad news regarding Binance, has a negative impact on the crypto market across the board. It also happens to trade a large number of pairs, so it's going to affect virtually all other projects. Obviously, Bitcoin is the big driver on every other cryptocurrency, Ethereum as well. So what's going on with Binance is that the FSA, which is the financial regulatory agency in Japan, has accused Binance of ignoring the registration laws. Binance is apparently now working with the FSA, but supposedly the suspension order has already gone out, which means that Binance would have to shut down all operations relative or servicing Japanese clients. Japan, and of course Asia lumped in there, but Japan is one of the biggest cryptocurrency trading regions in the world. Kind of like the Japanese are crazy about Forex as well. So that marks a massive draw of liquidity against Binance. If Binance can resolve this, and they certainly appear to be working with Japan to resolve this, and get back in the good graces of the FSA. Of course, I'm not for registration or regulation of any kind. So what I would love to see Binance do is flip a switch and say, hey, um, we're no longer a centralized company. We're completely decentralized, running on servers all over the world. Go ahead and try and stop us if you can. That's what I would like to see them do. Of course, they're not going to do that. But if they're working in that direction, I might add, as is Bitfinex, with the EOS Finex being introduced in June. But for the moment, we need good news to come out of this scenario, because if Japan takes Binance out of the market, what has been a minor downtrend from roughly 8,500 down to just under 8,000, 7,900 could become a waterfall downtrend. Hopefully, the recent pop back up is indicative that Binance is going to clear the hurdle with the FSA in Japan and get back in the game. My expectation is that that is exactly what will happen. One moment here. I'm back. That is what will happen, and we will begin to see the upside of the cryptocurrency market. Now let's take a look at what's going on right now. On a daily basis, we still have more downward momentum than upward momentum. If anything, the best is a trending scenario, but right now it's all down, 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 down for the daily basis, which means tomorrow, the next day, we could still be down. On a weekly basis, however, it changes dramatically. On a weekly basis, the EFI is indicating that the sellers are losing versus the buyers. We haven't crossed over into the positive strength territory, but the indications are there. The CCI still could go down farther. I wouldn't mind it going down farther. I mean, as I've been talking about, I could see a 7,500 or below, even going as far down as 6,000, which is the bounce point typically in that region, in the next couple of days, weeks, something like that. But we're setting up for a whopper bounce to the upside in the 14, 15K range. Huge upside bounce, extremely tradable upside bounce. So I've been discussing that even here at these points, 8,500 below 8,000, 7,000. Of course, as we get down, as you go below 7,500, your upside bounce response is getting closer and closer. So there's a potential to miss it, because when things go north in the cryptocurrency space, they tend to go north rather aggressively. I mean, in a strong V bounce, not on a U bounce, but in a V bounce, they will go north rather quickly, so you could miss it. So that's why I've been saying, even from 8,500 on down, these are all buying territories, especially as we get down to the, if we break 7,000, go down 6,000, strong buying territory. By that point, the CCI would be distinctly oversold. Of course, EFI would be ideally reversing, and that's what we're seeing a little bit of that now. But I'm not banking on that as a major reversal yet because um, we're not seeing it in extreme oversold conditions yet on the CCI. That's why. Now, if we go to a monthly basis, and only Bitcoin seems to have the monthly data, we still have downward momentum down into that 6,000-ish area, potentially slightly lower, but around the 6,000, 7,000 area. That's why I've been talking about it, because on a monthly basis, we can still go further down before we get that strong rebound back up, which is what I've been anticipating. So that's where we're at on BTC. Let's take a look at Litecoin. I think is about the same boat. We don't really have good monthly data. There was a lot of talk about Litecoin bouncing up because of LitePay and or LitePal, and that hasn't manifested. I wouldn't have expected it to manifest, but I think Litecoin has usurped Bitcoin as the primary payment role, but Bitcoin might gather steam again at some point because the Lightning Network and segmented witness are definitely positively impacting Bitcoin in terms of transaction fees and transaction speeds, and it's becoming much more usable. In fact, I'm beginning to use Bitcoin again, believe it or not. We're in a trending phase with, on a weekly basis, more slight trending or maybe a minor upside bias, but not a tremendous amount because this isn't an oversold area. It's not an overbought area. It's in a trending area. I don't like to trade these markets. I wouldn't do much with Litecoin right now. It's because it's just not clearly defined enough. On a daily basis, however, we still have downward momentum. So I'm not a big fan of Litecoin at this stage, and I've been that way for a while. I sold out at a good profit and haven't gone back in. And I think I told everybody about that. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum has been on a downward trek for a while. Yeah, it's poised for somewhat of a rebound, is what it looks like. Trending to upside bias right now. I mean, at this point, it's because it's in the oversold area. It's trying to recapture. So on a daily basis, it's got a bit of an upside bias. Nothing crazy though. On a weekly basis, it's still downside, and that's not good. So Ethereum has been one to get out of and stay away from for a while, and that reflects generally for the altcoins. Now, a couple of the altcoins have been outperforming. Encash, which I've been talking about for a while, Walton had a pretty good day a couple of days ago, and I think that bodes strongly for Walton in the future. Populous, Revain are still very strong. Steam posted somewhat of a rebound, and I think we're getting fairly close. I would say, Mark, maybe another month and a half before EOS is going to really pop back to life. So that is where we are at. For those of you who have been asking about my membership to coinpicker.us, bluntly speaking, I have held off on opening it up because I'm not going to be advising anybody to buy into a market until I'm really certain I'm going to be helping you out. In fact, what I'm probably going to be doing is broadening the topics I cover, because the goal is not to basically keep people out of the crypto market forever and not recommending anything to buy in because I can tell that the market has still downward momentum. The goal is to make money across any and all platforms, whatever it is. So I'm going to be broadening the offering to make it a bigger picture informational site where I might recommend gold, I might recommend silver, I might recommend certain types of securities, shorting certain things, commodities, all kinds of different things. Those of you who are strictly in the crypto space, there will be an emphasis on cryptos. However, the emphasis beyond all that is making money. And if the money isn't really flowing in cryptos, I am not going to by default just recommend everybody go into crypto. So I've covered this, which I think is a huge topic and one that is driving the market to a certain extent. Once we get Binance back online and get this shadow taken off their name, then Binance is going to probably bring back significant volume, and we may begin to see an upward rise in the general crypto market. So that is coinpicker.us. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you later.